Hello, hello, lovelies. Welcome. We have so many of you on right now. I am so excited. My name is Stephanie Classy. If you don't know who I am the head of education here at goPure. And today we are live and we are chatting all about a topic that is near and dear to us here at goPure, but it's also a topic that is very misunderstood, often misconstrued, clean beauty. So when you hop on, say hello. I see so many names that I recognize. Jessica and Heather and Brenda and Michelle. Renita is on. So let us know where you're joining us from. And I'm really excited because it's not just me today. We have a special guest. So let us know where you're joining us from and start sharing because we have a pretty major giveaway that we are going to be doing today. So tap that heart button and drop a comment if you love giveaways and goPure goodies. I want to see those hearts flying, and I want to see some comments about where you're joining us from. Hi, Tammy. Michelle's joining us from California. Heather from Oklahoma. We have someone from Vegas, Michigan. Flagstaff, Arizona. Hey, Sally. Sunny and cold Ohio patients. Oh, goodness. I'm joining you all from Denver, Colorado. It's pretending to be spring because it is officially spring. Who is excited for spring? I am excited for spring. And who wants to know what we're giving away today? Because that's always super fun. We are going to be giving away a product of your choice throughout the live. But I got approval to not just give one of these away, but two of these away. And it's pretty cool. So I'm going to grab this goodie box here. And I see Charlie wants to win. Who wants to win this? Tap some hearts and leave a comment. If you want a chance to win this PR box. So this is a special PR box. These are not for purchase. These are amazing. They feature 7 of our top-selling goPure goodies, the skincare superstars, our Firm and Lift Serum, the 10% niacinamide booster, our Hydrate and Smooth Serum, the Brighten and Even Serum, the incredible Tighten and Lift Neck Cream, Advanced Repair Eye Cream, and the iconic Glycopeptide Anti-Wrinkle Moisturizer. So when you share this, let us know. If you have questions, ask them. Participate in the chat, like, share. Let's blow this up. Let's see how many people we can get on this live to learn all about clean beauty because we got to give away 2 of these. So we're going to be doing a product of your choice. And then in the middle of the live, and then at the very end, we're doing a grand prize. So you want to stay on, you want to share, and you want to join in the fun. And so I'm going to set this back here for motivation for you all. So you can feel motivated to participate for your chance to win because that's super fun and super cool. But today I want to intro someone very awesome, someone I love working with so much. Amy is the head of our product development. She has spent the better part of her career working in supply chain and product development. So what's really cool is she actually is the person who not only helps decide what our products are going to be and formulates them and works with our manufacturers, but she also does all of that hard work behind the scenes and has done so much to make sure that you all get your amazing products in the fastest time available. And you know, when you guys get your orders so quickly, that is Amy and Jessica, and they're incredible. She has studied consumer psychology and marketing, and she's super passionate about your experience with your products, what you think, how they make you feel. And she has been with us here at goPure for 2.5 years. So let's bring Amy onto the show, onto the goPure Glow Show. And welcome, Amy.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited you're here. This is something that we've been wanting to do for a while, and I'm just so appreciative of you going live. I know this is not something that everyone is comfortable doing and being live, but I told Amy that you all are awesome and you are so much fun to hang out with on these lives. Heather is saying hello, Renita, Barbara. We have so many people joining, and they're just so happy that you're here with us because this is going to be a super cool conversation. Now, Amy, how do you feel about starting the show with a giveaway? Like should we do it?
I think that sounds like.
Should we just right now pick someone and have our amazing customer service team is in the chat. Kaylee is also in the chat and she's the one behind the scenes running the show as well. So let's just start the show giving away a product of your choice. And I see a lot of people are down with that. So when they choose a winner, they're going to let Kaylee know, and they're going to pop that up on the screen because, oh, Heather wants to win. Cindy for sure. And then stay tuned because, again, we are going to be giving away this incredible PR box with 7 goPure favorites. Oh, I see Erin on as well. Erin's one of our co-founders. I know we see a lot of people wanting to win. They're choosing a winner right now, and they're going to let us know. But Amy and I have 7 main myths we're going to try and get through today. It's a long list, but we're just really super excited to share kind of what these myths are, and then really the reality of it, and then what that means to us here at goPure. So yes. And while we're waiting, does anyone have a question for Amy right off the bat? While they're choosing a winner, does anyone have a question they want to start off with Amy and I? Now that we have her captive on live to ask questions, because that's what's really cool, is that I just love when we get to chat and we get to answer your questions. And you get a little maybe behind the scenes glimpse of what it's like. So I'll ask a question really quick so I don't see one. Amy, what is your favorite thing about, Jessica's asking what's your next new product? I don't know if we can share that. But what's your favorite part about working in product development?
My favorite part about working in product development on a superficial level is getting to play with all the different products. And on a non-superficial level is getting to make great products that everybody loves and continues to use to better their skin.
I love that. I agree that the little bits that I get to help and just throw my opinion around, it is really cool to just try new things and just really like brainstorm as to like, what can we do that's even better, that can make an incredible impact. I see a lot of people asking about the next new product, but someone's asking, can serums be applied to the eye area? Amy, do you want to share anything about products used around the eye from like a product development standpoint? Like, is there anything that people need to know? Is there any additional testing? Is there anything that you would add from a product development standpoint that would let people know what they can or can't use around the eyes?
I mean, generally, you shouldn't use anything too close to the eye unless it's specifically made for that. Even with an eye cream, I mean, you don't want to put it, up under the lid to where it could potentially get into your eye. So it's best to, go right under where the under eye starts with everything. I bring my serums, to right about here, and then the eye cream, obviously on the under eye area or the eye gel. But definitely not too close to the opening of the eye. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a great point. Oh, I see the magical confetti raining down upon us. So Barb is our first winner of the evening. Before we get into this myth busting, you want a product of your choice. Congratulations. Remember, keep liking, commenting, sharing. Let's see how many people we can get on our live and our special clean beauty myth busting chat with Amy, our head of product development. Congratulations, Barb. Customer service will reach out to you. And let's get into it. So first myth, and this is a big one. The myth is clean beauty is clearly defined. There is one industry standard. And you and I both know that there isn't a common definition of clean beauty. There is not an industry standard. And there's various standards throughout the beauty industry. And it can be super confusing and overwhelming when that word is used, clean beauty. Okay, what does that mean? And each brand has an individual responsibility to define what it means to them, but also to clearly communicate that. Saying you're clean, you and I both know, is not enough. And it includes everything from ingredients that they include to what they won't include, maybe sustainability initiatives, ingredients and ingredient sourcing, and how it contributes to their ethos and brand values overall. And it's just important for people to find a brand that they trust, that communicates that clearly and has values they align with, like goPure, to deliver on that in a trustworthy way. So Amy, can you tell everyone here, what does clean beauty mean to us at goPure?
Well, like Stephanie said, and I'll just double pretty much all of that, but there is no set standard of clean beauty. And because of that, it could be super confusing to consumers. They don't understand what makes this clean and what makes this clean. And there's so many ingredients that one brand will use with no problems, consider it clean, and another brand would never even touch it. So there's just so many varying opinions by individual companies. And when a brand gives the impression that they're clean, they do have the responsibility to kind of define what that means to them. So communicate to their customers, how it's clean, why they think it's clean. They should be listing the ingredients on their do not use list, which is, also known as a no list. They should be discussing their sourcing methods, their sustainability initiatives, and what their overall brand ethos is, and their overall stance on clean beauty. And that's what we strive to do at goPure. We want to make sure that we're only using ingredients that are safe, that are non-toxic. And additionally, we want to make sure that we're always transparent with our customers. It's important that you as an individual kind of decide the level of cleanliness that you're comfortable with, because everybody has different needs and different skin and different opinions on what makes things clean. So what's important to you is definitely super important. And, to kind of ask yourself, are you looking for cruelty-free? Are you looking for vegan? Are you looking for gluten-free? Again, all personal decisions. So there's just so much to consider.
Yeah. So we've mentioned a no list a few times. So can you talk about what is a no list, and maybe talk about our no list a little bit?
So a no list is basically a list that a company comes up with that says what ingredients they definitely will not put into their products. And our no list has heavily evolved over the years. It's, maybe started out a little bit on the smaller side, and it's become, a much, much larger, much more robust list of products we definitely will not put in our formulas. For sure. I mean, the obvious is that we will never use the dirty six. We'll never use formaldehyde, parabens, dyes, propylene glycol, SLS, which is sodium lauryl sulfate, or hydroquinone. Definitely never, ever, ever. But our no list goes way beyond that. And it's really important for us to keep the list up to date. So any new information that comes about, any changes to the safety of ingredients, as that comes to light, we definitely have to pay attention to that and kind of, determine how we want to proceed if one of those are in our formulas. We do a ton of research. We always have our eyes and ears open. What happens in the industry, any negative, anything negative comes about an ingredient that, perhaps we're using, and we make changes as needed to ensure the safety of our products. We keep adding to that no list.
And I will say, even just in the time that I've been here, that list has grown, and we're always looking at that. We're always assessing. And sometimes if you go on our website in our About Us section, we list ingredients, we have our no list, we very clearly define what clean beauty means to us. But I always felt like that our no list doesn't always do us justice, because we talk about the dirty six a lot. Yes, those things that a lot of people look for that are very important to us, like the parabens, the formaldehyde, the hydroquinone, the SLS, the things that are harmful and can be irritants. But our list, is much, much longer than that. And it really is always growing. And, we do challenge our chemists regularly
100%.
we will not compromise. We will not compromise. And when you stick to that clean beauty standard, it makes products harder to formulate, because some of these ingredients, maybe are just an easy to use. And we really do challenge that standard and that status quo. All right. Kaylee, do we have a question that we can throw up on the screen? Maybe for Amy, about anything that we've talked about. If anyone has a question about, what clean beauty means to us or our no list, feel free to ask it in the comments. Kaylee has her eye on everything, and she's going to be popping some of those up on the screen during some of our breaks in between here. If there's anything that maybe we want to ask Amy or myself, but I really want Amy to be the one getting the questions, just because you all get to chat with me so often. And this is our first time having Amy on here, so this is great. Erin is saying Amy is always on top of that no list, which is for sure. So Kaylee, if we have a question, if not, we can move on to the next section. All right, so let's do myth number 2. Oh wait, no, we do have a question. Kaylee, I saw that. I saw it pop up. So Cheryl is asking, how are the products tested? That is a really great question. And I know we're going to touch on some of this later.
We're going to talk about it a little bit later, but we definitely do a plethora of tests on our ingredients, on our combined formulas, on our packaging, on, for sensitivity issues. So we're definitely going to touch on that later, but we definitely, we do a lot.
Well, and one thing that's important to note is we do not test on animals. So
never.
We actually have a couple different certifications. We are PETA certified, and then we also are certified by Cruelty Free Kitty. So we never test on animals. That's something that is a part of our values and our ethos, and something that we feel contributes to our clean beauty standard, is that it is important that our products are not tested on animals. But yeah, we're going to get into it because that's not as always as simple, right? I don't think people realize how many stability tests the product goes through to make sure it's stable, and then it works in the packaging, and then it works so throughout the product development process. I've learned so much. There are so many tests along the way that can you list just a few things that are, you listed products, but yeah, we have stability and packaging, and then
we do micro stability testing. We do preservative efficacy testing. We do RIPT testing, which is for sensitivity. We do fill verification to make sure that the bottles we're putting the formulas in are going to, hold as much as we're saying is in there, and that it's going to dispense, perfectly, so that there's no issues with the way it dispenses. So there's, a ton. We do pH testing. We do thickness testing to make sure that the product is the desired thickness that we want it to be. So there's a lot of tests that we do for each product.
And I think that's important to note, because we have a long list and we pay so close attention to what our VIPs want to see in products. And I think sometimes the reason there is that longer timeline sometimes is that with the ingredients and our standards and the no list and the formulation, and then you think you have it, and then all of the things that happen after that, it's a really cool process, but it's not a quick process because we don't compromise on all of those standards. It's right. Really cool to learn about. I love hearing you talk about it. It's awesome. All right, myth number 2. Natural ingredients are better than synthetic, and chemicals are bad. And this is something that I love talking about in myth busting, is that chemicals are bad because everything around us is a chemical. Even water is a chemical. And even the most natural products, ingredients, are made up of chemicals. Your favorite fruits and veggies have a long list of chemicals that are found in them. And even an apple has 31 different chemicals that make up its main ingredient list. And this is actually something that's really cool that I saw floating around, and I looked up. A chemistry teacher in Australia named James Kennedy was really trying to help people understand that chemicals are all around us. So he actually made ingredient lists and labels for your favorite fruits and vegetables. And that's something that you can look up. It's pretty cool because it just shows that even sometimes people think, oh, a skincare product ingredient list should be really short and it should be only things that I can pronounce, and chemicals are bad. And the reality of it is that even an apple has a list of 31 ingredients that are very hard to maybe and understand, but be wary of chemical free. Chemical free is not possible. And I know, Amy, you've probably seen brands throw that terminology around, chemical free, and that's just not possible. But also the side that natural isn't always safer, because some natural ingredients don't penetrate the skin well. Maybe they're not as effective. Some can be allergens and irritants. So clean skincare is all about the safe, the non-toxic, the non-irritating. And it is possible that natural ingredients can deliver. And we have ingredients like bakuchiol and kakadu plum and tamarind. Our hydrocella is a naturally derived ingredient, but there are, it's all about the safest, most effective ingredients. So Amy, can you tell us, how do we decide what ingredients to include or avoid here at goPure?
So, like you said, chemicals are everywhere. Everything you breathe, see, ingest, touch, they're all composed of chemicals. So we simply cannot make formulas or product without chemicals. It's just not possible. At the same time, natural may not always be safe either. I mean, there are chemicals that are safe. There are chemicals that are unsafe. There are natural ingredients that are safe, and there are natural ingredients that are not safe. We have some natural ingredients in our formulas that have been proven to be very safe and very effective. So we're super excited about that. Stephanie listed those out for you guys. And we also have synthetic ingredients that are also safe and also effective. So we kind of just balance it out by what's clean, what's safe, what's going to work. We want to put stuff in our formulas that's going to work. We don't want to put, 50 ingredients in there just to fluff it up. It's got to be stuff that has a purpose, that's going to work. And just as an example, between natural and synthetic, I have a product that's coming out later this year. It was very important to us that it was vegan. So in order to make it vegan, I had to substitute beeswax for a synthetic wax. And it turned out in the end, after doing all of the research, that the synthetic wax was actually safe, had better safety ratings and lower irritation ratings than the beeswax did. So that was a win-win. We're substituting something to be able to make it vegan, and it ended up being a gentler, safer product. So, that's kind of how we do. We kind of, balance it out, make sure that the natural, that the chemical, that the synthetic, that everything is safe. It has to meet a certain safety rating for us to even consider putting it in our formula.
That's so good to know. And I see people now getting so excited about a new possible product coming, but we have a lot of fun things in store. Trust us. But so what can make an ingredient harmful? I know that I have a tree nut allergy. And so something that is safe for a lot of people, for me individually, is a harmful ingredient. And I also have super sensitive skin. So can you talk a little bit about what can make an ingredient harmful?
There are so many things that can make it harmful, but it's really, it's a case-by-case basis. Everybody is different. Everybody's skin tolerates differently. Everybody's body tolerates things differently. Are you pregnant? Are you in the overexposure to the sun, or even in the sun, more than other people are? Certain ingredients like retinol, which is otherwise very safe, is not safe for women who are pregnant or nursing. Retinol also heightens your skin's ability to burn in the sun. So SPF should always be used when you use a retinol to make it extra safe. So many ingredients are also known to have links to cancer, to gastrointestinal issues, hormone disruptors. There's so many different ingredients out there that cause so many different problems. But at goPure, we take pride in making sure that we are not putting in the ingredients that are causing those real health issues, and that if we use something that does maybe cause a reaction, like a retinol would cause a sunburn if you didn't have an SPF, we label everything. We put a warning to use SPF. We put a warning to not use it if you're pregnant or nursing. We put warnings on any products that have BHAs to use an SPF. So we're extra careful to make sure that our customers know, if you use this, make sure you use this in conjunction.
Yeah, I love that. And just to add to that too, that's also why we're so passionate about education and content and doing these lives and being super transparent, because some of it too comes down to use. And we want you to be confident with how to use your products, but also, again, talking about retinol and retinoids, some of the irritation, because again, it's when we talk about harmful, we're not just saying things that are considered toxic or endocrine disruptors or those things. We really align non-irritating with that as well. And again, we'll talk about that. But again, how we explain how to use these products and making sure that you're using them as properly as possible to avoid any sensitization or irritation, because you get a new package of products and you're really excited to use it, and then you want to use it all at one time, and then you found maybe I did too much too fast, especially when it comes to retinol, which is why we also do all of this education and Q&As and all of this because of things like that as well. Some of it is use and individual skin and individual sensitivities.
Absolutely.
Also, and I see someone said they just found the comment. So yeah, like and comment and share. And Amy, Kaylee, if we have another question, we can put up on the screen because we're going to do another giveaway. And this time we are going to give away our first big PR box. So for all of you that are participating in the conversation, that are leaving questions, comments, all of that, we have our eyes on that chat. And we are going to be choosing a winner for this limited edition PR box. This is not something that is available for purchase. Features 7 of our amazing skincare favorites, some of our best products. Cheryl is saying I have very sensitive skin and no reactions to any of the products. And I can't wait for Amy to share some really cool stuff with you. But if we have a question, let's pop it up on the screen. And then we will choose a winner. And we've had a lot of questions about sunscreen. So maybe at some point when we're talking about some FDA stuff at the end, maybe Amy has something maybe we can talk about how the FDA tests sunscreens because it's a process. But that's what everyone wants to know about. If we don't have a question, Kaylee, you can just choose a winner as well because we are so excited. We have a lot of awesome things to cover in our live. And we're only through 2 of these. So Janelle Coling, I hope I said that right. You are the winner of our first PR box. Remember, we are choosing from those of you that participate in the comment section. So make sure you're asking questions and participating in the chat. And then I'm trying to see some of these questions too, because that's how we're choosing the winners. Someone is asking, can you touch more on adding one product at a time, like layering? So Amy, is there anything that you want to, from your product development standpoint, when we talk about like product application and like skin care layering, why should people layer their skincare instead of like mixing them all together and then putting them on their face?
Well, I mean, I definitely think that putting them on one at a time gives each different serum or moisturizer that you're applying time to absorb in. And you don't want to mix, if you could put them all on at the same time, then we would put them all in one bottle. So, and mix it into, one great formula. So putting them on differently in the order that you put them on specifically for you is definitely important. Putting a vitamin C on, letting that absorb, putting a hyaluronic on, letting that absorb, putting on a cream, letting that absorb. So you definitely got to do it in steps and not just drop it all into your hand, mix it up and
yeah.
it on.
Well, and like we do pH testing, like each ingredient, each product needs a specific pH to maintain, to function and stay stable. And so there's so much that goes into it when we make the products. And so from my esthetician perspective, think about that when you're layering your products too, that each one of these products, like you said, if we could put all of these things into one product we would do that. Because we get that a lot. Like, why can't you put all of these in one thing? It's the percent of the ingredient that's in there. It's the things that keep them stable. It's the consistency. It's all of those things. And so the same goes when you layer your products. Just give like 30 to 60 seconds to absorb. Everyone's skin's going to be a little bit different, but a lot of it just comes down to making sure that the ingredients get to where they go to do what they need to do. So they're active and effective.
Yeah.
All right. So congratulations to our last winner. Let's get into this next topic. So myth number 3, clean formulas are gentler and less irritating. And so I'm really excited for you to share about this because we just spoke about how some of these natural ingredients can be irritants and common allergens. And like you said, some ingredients overall, not just natural ingredients and clean formulas, there are ingredients that can cause photosensitivity and even chemical burns. And things like essential oils are very polarizing because essential oils are pretty gnarly chemical compounds actually, and they can burn the skin if not used correctly. And fragrance oils and citrus extracts and the whole world of clean beauty and what you may or may not have in a product. So with how we formulate, because we're not just talking about clean, non-toxic, we're also talking about gentle and non-irritating and safe for the skin in that way too. What do we do to ensure our skincare is gentle and less irritating?
So yeah, there are so many ingredients, even ingredients found in clean or natural formulas that are indeed extremely irritating to some people. We take a lot of pride in our formulas. We want to make sure they're gentle. We want to make sure they're non-irritating. We want to make sure that if somebody has super sensitive skin, and this particular formula is not good for sensitive skin, then we're letting, we're educating on that, and we're letting people know maybe not to use this if you have super sensitive skin. But what we do initially is, it's called an RIPT test. I mentioned it earlier. It's a human repeated insult patch test. And what it is before we launch a product, the formula is put onto a patch, and then the patch is put onto the upper back of 50 participants of mixed age levels, mixed skin issues, and it's worn for 6 weeks. So its intention is to see if there's any reaction to the formula. A dermatologist basically reviews the patch site area throughout the trial and the assessment, and really looks at the results to see if anybody had any irritations, if anybody had any sensitivity issues. And we get a report at the end, and it shows how many people had this issue, how many people had that issue. But in all of our products, we've never had any instances where people had any sensitivity issues. But 100%, if we did, we would definitely not release the formula. We are very, very, big on transparency, and we definitely don't want to release something that we know is going to cause any irritating or sensitivities.
That's really cool. And especially considering that we do use potent active ingredients. We use really awesome potent active ingredients. And that I was so excited when I heard we've never had an instance of irritation. Do we get any acknowledgement or additional certification with this type of testing?
We don't get any additional certification. We get a report from a dermatologist, and it basically allows us to know that our product was dermatologist tested.
Okay. Does it allow us to be, say we're hypoallergenic as well?
We can say hypoallergenic, I believe. That's maybe a little bit more of a getting more approval type of situation, but we definitely can, we definitely are hypoallergenic based on these results. Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. That's really, really cool. Now, do we have to do this testing? Is it required in the beauty industry?
No, it's not required. It's definitely a brand's decision to do the testing, but we have done it on every single one of our products. We'll continue to do it, and definitely would never release something without having those negative results.
That's really cool. That's awesome. And again, that's one thing. I mean, we hear so much time from all of you, and I see it in the comments right now, how you have super sensitive skin and you can tolerate these products, certain skin conditions, additional skin concerns. I mean, I know I have a ton of allergies. I am allergic to absolutely everything. And I'm really, really picky with what I use and recommend, because so much stuff makes my skin react. I'm highly, highly reactive. And I can, our booster powder, I am not kidding. I was super afraid I wouldn't be able to use this, because I normally can't use ascorbic acid. And I'm so obsessed with this. And I love that it's in a powder and it's stable and I can choose how much I use. But I can tolerate this, and I am so over the moon because it's made my skin just even better. And I know that this additional testing we do really just shows, in my experience, and so many people, I just see all the time that, these extra steps that we take really do make a big difference. So let's talk about our next myth. Myth number 4, natural and clean is more sustainable and eco-friendly. And this is something that I'm excited for us to address, because clean beauty does not equate to green beauty. And skincare sustainability and sustainability initiatives is an ever-changing landscape. And I'm excited to talk with you because having, been the head of our, distribution supply chain, making those packaging decisions, so many things that impact the carbon footprint of a brand. And that there's just a lot of greenwashing that can happen. So can you discuss what our sustainability efforts look like here at goPure? And because I know it impacts things like packaging, recyclability, ingredient sourcing, other practices, and those types of things. So I would just love to hear from you, like, about some of our sustainability initiatives and the future of that here at goPure, and how we're, always looking to improve upon that.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, just like the standards of clean beauty, the concept of sustainability is ever changing and evolving. So many brands are greenwashing their consumers. They are making them believe that they're sustainable. But there's really no set standard of what is and what is not sustainable. I mean, I would say, in my opinion, you're sustainable if you're making an effort to better the earth and the waste and what goes back into the earth. To us at goPure, we feel recyclable packaging rather is very, very important. Our packaging has always been recyclable. We are making some changes to make it even more recyclable, easier to recycle, more, even more sustainable than it is now. We're changing our, later this year, we're changing our product boxes to be made out of recycled paper and also to be printed with vegetable-based ink. So that's much better for the environment. There's not a lot of gases going out in printing. So that's super exciting. We're very excited to do that. And also our glass bottles that the serums come in, those are painted white glass versus actual white glass, because if the glass is white, it's not recyclable. So we have the bottles painted, which is why you see the clear rim on the top there, just to make sure that they are recyclable. So we definitely, we take efforts to be as sustainable as we can, to, create as least waste as we can in our packaging. It may not be fancy, frilly, over the top with all the inserts that come out of the box and this and that, but it's more sustainable, and it does what its purpose is. It protects the formula, it protects the bottle, it gives you all the information on the box, and it helps us contribute to the retention of Mother Earth.
I love that. And what's funny though is, so I didn't know that about the box and how we were going to be able to make some of those improvements and the vegetable-based ink, because sometimes it's about I call them like the baby green steps too. Like, it's a constant process, it's a constant journey, and it's like looking at all of those little things that I think that get taken for granted when it comes to those efforts and initiatives. Because we see how many of our VIPs are sharing how they reuse their packaging. They're always sharing these cool ideas, but it's always about that constant process of how can we assess, like, what our packaging looks like and what are roadblocks to making even more sustainable, recyclable, all those things. I think that's just so cool. And last week if you saw our TikTok today, there was one with some people in the office, and I saw in some of the videos, Aaron, who's a co-founder here at goPure, is going around in the background managing the recycling. And so it even does trickle down to the office life at goPure that I see, of like making sure that even in office, people are not being wasteful and recycling and doing all of those things as well. And I just love seeing her in the background managing the recycling and doing all those things. And I'm like, yeah, that's what our culture is like. And I love that. I think that's amazing. All right, let's see about a question. Kaylee, do we have a question we can pop up on the screen? Someone is asking, will refill options be available someday? What can you share about, we've looked into refillable options and the options that we have there as a brand?
Yeah, so refill, it's something we've definitely spent a lot of time reviewing, going over, and it's definitely something that's still on our list to possibly implement someday. Nothing in the super near future, but definitely something that we are constantly talking about and seeing if we can, get something into place there for refills.
That's really cool. I love to hear that, because I know that there's just so many things that have to go into place for something like a refill to work. But I love that we are looking into that, and that's something that's on our list and we're trying to make happen. All right. Myth number 5, preservative free is safer. I know that sometimes people equate the idea of preservatives with harsh, harmful, yucky, icky, bad ingredients. But preservatives are vital in the world of skincare. You do not want skincare without those preservatives. I know that I actually had an experience where I purchased skincare from someone who had made it that I knew, and it went very bad very quickly, grew some horrible things in there, and I was actually astonished. I was astonished. And these preservatives keep our products stable. They keep the ingredients stable, but they also keep it free of the bacteria, the mold, the possible contamination. And there are like dirty preservatives, and then there are ingredients that we can utilize to keep our products clean from those yucky things growing in them and stable. And so what do you want people to know about preservatives and skincare?
So, as Stephanie mentioned, preservatives are necessary. They are necessary to any formula to make sure that all of the gross, yucky things don't come into your formula, into your product. Mold, bacteria, microorganisms. We want to make sure that we keep all of that stuff away. There's a number of preservatives that are available that we can use that are still clean and not considered a dirty ingredient and don't really have any side effects. Each formula that we create calls for a different preservative system in order to make sure that it is going to work with the other ingredients in that formula. So our chemists are very, they're in tune with what we do not want in our formulas, and they put together really dynamic formulas and preservative systems that we, make sure are clean and are going to be okay for you guys to use. So again, yeah, we're very determined to use the cleanest preservatives in our formula. We always want to make sure that what we are bringing to our customers, to y'all, is 100% safe, and that it doesn't have any contaminants that is going to diminish the health of your skin. So before products are sold, every ingredient that goes into a formula is put through micro testing to make sure that there's nothing in there, no mold, no bacteria, microorganisms. And then after a formula is made, and it gets, mixed in the big vats and it's ready to go and be put into bottles, it's tested again in its complete state. And then it's put into bottles and it's tested a third time. So there's 3 tests there that are done to make sure that there is nothing wrong with the formula. There's nothing that's going to come out and get you when you use these products. So we're definitely, super big on protecting our customers. Your health and safety, because our customers' health and safety is our number one priority. So all of these tests are super vital to make sure that, everything is safe and to bring peace of mind that we're putting the best products out there.
That's so cool. And I think, again, like when you think about the timeline to get a product from, we have this great idea, to trying out different things and suggestions and formulations, the preservative system in each one really is very important. And I know that we have I know with our eye cream, we really challenged our chemists on that formulation with, what we said we would not include as far as preservatives to still have this amazing, effective, stable formula that aligned with our values. But then, who here in the comments, let us know, did you know that there were that many stages of even testing a formula to make sure that it doesn't have any of those contaminants in it? And then it sits in this room, right? Or this, whatever you call it, like locker type of thing for a certain amount of time. And then it's tested at this point and tested at that point and tested in that. And yeah, I see people saying, they didn't know. There's so much that goes into what we consider making these products clean and safe. And it's just so cool to learn about it. I know I see so many people saying that they're loving learning about this. And so if we have a question, let's pop it up on the screen and then we can choose another winner for a product of your choice. I think that sounds good. So Becky is asking, is there an expiration date on products? So can you talk about expiration date, shelf life, those types of things?
Yes. So there's no printed expiration date on anything except the Ceramiform because it's a supplement. what we are going to be implementing in the coming months is it's called a PAO indicator. And what it is if you look at any cosmetics or shampoo, conditioner, any really, health and beauty product, there's a number inside of like an open jar. So it will say 6M, which stands for 6 months. So basically what that is telling you is that the product is good after opening for that long. So the rule is that our products have a 2-year shelf life unopened. If you buy something today and you don't open it for a year, but when you open it 12 months later, you have 6 months to use it for its safety. So everything will be labeled with those indicators in a couple months.
Okay. And does that vary per product? Like one product might be 6 months, one might be 12 months. So each one, things will have a different number on there?
Yeah, it varies based on what's inside the formula. So retinol doesn't have as long of a shelf life as, let's say, a hyaluronic acid. So depending on what's in the formula and how long it stays at its, highest potential of being effective is what we're going to be labeling at.
That's so cool. I love that we're doing that. And that is like when you use potent active ingredients, and this is just from my perspective, like these potent antioxidants, active ingredients, we want them to work when you use them. So that's why we have those on there too, is because you want the ingredients in there to be active when you use them. And so there's the difference between the shelf life unopened and then once you open it, really using that, because it's not just about the stability of a formula and when we think about preservatives and the contaminants, it's also about making sure that those active ingredients are still potent, still active, so you get those amazing results. All right, we have a winner. Yay! So this is for a product of your choice. Deanna Heyer, you want a product of your choice. Congratulations. Congratulations. And make sure you all are still liking and commenting and sharing and participating in the conversation, because at the end, we are going to be giving away one more of these amazing big PR boxes. And Deanna, you just won a product of your choice. So congratulations. Let's all congratulate her and continue the chat, because we have a couple more to get through here. But I'm having a lot of fun, Amy, and I think everyone's having a great time too, because it's just really cool to hear your perspective and that behind the scenes look. And product development is something that it's just really cool. You have a cool job, Amy. You really do. All right, so this is something that I'm excited to address too, because this is a huge myth. And when I say this, if you've heard this, in the comments, drop and let me know if you've heard this. So this myth is myth number 6. Your skin absorbs X percentage of what you put on it. So who has heard this? Like, I see this all the time. Your skin absorbs X percent of the chemicals into your bloodstream in this amount of time. And there's this misconception that you put something on your skin and in a minute, all of this stuff absorbs and gets into your bloodstream. And it's positioned a ton of different ways, but this is such a huge myth because, and I think it's one of those myths that gets thrown around as a part of fear mongering with clean beauty and tries to make people be afraid of everything that's in their products and everything that is touching their skin. And I've heard it so many different ways, but our skin's barrier that you've probably heard me talk a lot about if you've been on the lives, its job is to keep the good stuff in and keep the bad stuff out. Our skin's barrier is very powerful. And if everything we put onto our skin got into our bloodstream, it would be so much easier to make skincare. And we could, have topically applied medications and all of these different things. It would be so much easier. And that's one of the things that makes it hard to develop effective skincare is our skin's barrier is actually pretty good at keeping stuff out. And, so things like the pH of a product, molecule size, chemical makeup, whether it's oil or whether it's water, and the science of skin penetration, ingredient formulation, and absorption, it's very, very complicated. And so just because we want stuff to absorb, but just because something absorbs doesn't mean it's even getting into or near your bloodstream either. And there is so much negative messaging and fear mongering all around this. So Amy, what can you add to this? And I'd really like us to talk about how we formulate skincare to actually help it penetrate the skin's barrier without causing a problem, without being disruptive. Because I've actually seen questions about this too. So take it away on that topic for us.
Okay, so I mean, there's definitely ingredients that absorb into the skin easier than other ingredients. Vitamin C, vitamin E, they both have small molecular structures, so they're able to absorb into the skin much easier and penetrate much easier. Our Dramatically Dewy Serum, it has 3 different molecular weights of hyaluronic acid, so it helps with the absorption into the skin at deeper levels. When a particular formula may not have such an easy time absorbing based on the pH or the molecular size, then it needs a little extra assistance for that absorption. So extra ingredients and processes need to be added for that to happen. We challenge our chemists to come up with clean options to assist in penetration and keeping while still keeping clean and safe and keeping the formula effective. Surfactants help to increase the skin penetration of water-soluble substances, which increases the permeability of water or water-based serums or moisturizers into the skin. We also have some products that are made with that involve an advanced encapsulation of certain ingredients. So basically what that is, advanced encapsulation is a process where the ingredient is basically surrounded by, let's just call it a wall. It's like let's say it's put into a balloon and it basically helps to, it keeps the ingredient stable and it helps the ingredient absorb better into the skin. So those are some of the things that we do. Safe surfactants, different ingredients that help with the penetration and the advanced encapsulation.
That's awesome. And, this question comes up a lot too, when I'm educating around, damp skin versus dry skin. When your skin is damp, it allows certain water-based ingredients to absorb better because, and I'm seeing questions on here about this. So our skin's barrier is a mix of those surface cells and lipids, basically. Our skin actually is more receptive to oil-based ingredients because that's what that barrier is. Oil likes oil, water likes water. Think about when you mix a salad dressing and the two separate, like an oil and vinegar dressing. Think about that. We want to get water-based ingredients into our skin, but that oil can sit at the top with that barrier. So some of those advanced encapsulation systems are, oil loving to help those water-based ingredients in, but even things like having damp skin when you're applying certain serums can help with the absorption just because water likes water. And that's why I tell everyone, that's why we tell people to apply a certain way too, because you want those active ingredients, you want those water-based ingredients, because when you moisturize and put oils in, it really reinforces that barrier and seals it all in. So it's really cool with that ingredient technology. And I love advanced encapsulation. So I'm going to drop some little nuggets here. Did you know that our Advanced Repair Eye Cream utilizes advanced encapsulation? Our retinol products, that is an encapsulated retinol in our Originals retinol serum and the retinol moisturizer that help them penetrate better into the skin. And so those are things that really are differentiators, but help those get into the skin without being disruptive. And it's very, very cool because we don't want to hurt our barrier. So we really work to have those really cool ingredients that can get into the skin, stay stable, and get to where they got to go to do what they have to do. We have a quick Q&A for another little giveaway for a product of your choice. Can we throw a question up on the screen, Kaylee, if we have a good one? And then as you all choose our next winner for a product of your choice before we move on to our final myth that we're going to talk about and then the grand prize, because I'm seeing lots of questions on here. So if we have a great question for Amy, Kaylee, pop it on up and we will chat about it. And I will say, Amy and I both have our dogs that we weren't sure would be behaving. I feel like all of our dogs are behaving very well for this live right now.
There's a couple barks from up there, but so far
I haven't heard it. My teenagers and my dogs are behaving very well right now. Oh, this is a great question. I actually saw this and I was like, oh, I hope Kaylee puts that up. Should the serums be refrigerated? Can you add any insight as to like, do the serums need refrigeration?
So they don't technically need refrigeration. Some people, I do not refrigerate my serums. Some people choose to refrigerate them for a couple different reasons. They may like to put them on cold. It's a nice cooling effect. They may think that it's going to extend the life by putting it in the refrigerator, and it very well may do so. But we don't have any, necessary testing that says if you refrigerate, it will extend the life of the product. So it's really a personal choice. Some people just feel it's fresher. It's kind of like an operating room. They're freezing for a reason because it keeps away microorganisms. So there could be some, definitely some truth to that, it could keep it cleaner, and it's really your choice type of situation.
But we don't feel like our products are
no.
Okay. And I think that's important to note. Like these serums don't need the refrigeration, but ideally for product storage, you want to avoid direct light. You want to avoid heat. That's why I don't store my skincare actually in the bathroom, because the volatility of the heat. So sometimes if you feel like maybe that's a component that you would feel like you don't have a good place to store them, do you think that could be a good option for someone?
Yeah. I mean, I will say that we do tests. Another one of the tests that we do before we release a product is it's put into an oven for 30, 60, 90 days. And it's put into a freezer for 30, 60, 90 days. That's and we're making sure that at all different levels of heat and cold, that the product remains stable. So, that tells us that it doesn't need to be refrigerated. Or it may potentially tell us that we need to, advise the customers to keep it in a cool, dry place. Whatever the fact, everything is always on the package. Keep in a cool, dry place. Don't expose to direct heat. Don't expose to flame. So all of those come out of testing.
That's really cool. That's awesome. So just so you all know, your skincare has been oven tested. That's really cool. All right, let's announce another winner. Yay! All right, this is for a product of your choice. So Kim Gregg, you have won a product of your choice. Thank you so much for participating in the conversation. And stay tuned. I want this chat so active, because when we finish this last myth, we are going to choose a grand prize winner for this final PR box full of 7 skincare goodies. So let's blow up this chat and get going. So the final myth, and maybe we can share some extra fun details here, but this is a big myth. Myth number 7, that the US cosmetics industry is not regulated. There's a lot of myths around this, like, Europe has these standards and the US has no standards at all. And it is a big myth, because the US cosmetics industry is actually regulated, even if it may seem less strict than other countries. And it can be very confusing with how the FDA does and does not regulate. But this is directly from the FDA website. It's very searchable on prohibited and restricted ingredients in skincare. So it is against the law for a cosmetic to contain any ingredient that makes the product harmful when consumers use it according to the directions on the label or in the customary or expected way. This is true whether or not there is regulation that specifically prohibits or restricts the use of the ingredient in cosmetics. So, and that's very vague, but it is illegal to use harmful ingredients in skincare, even if there is not specific regulation or legislation around that. And that in and of itself is a form of regulation. However, caveat, brands need to be honest and transparent about what is what's in their products and ingredients. We've talked about transparency a lot. Fragrance is one of those things that falls in that category. A company can list the term fragrance, and it can be any number of things depending on the percentage that is in there. And it's actually something that can be used to mask certain ingredients. We are fragrance free. We absolutely never do that. But it is very important to know and keep in mind that the safety, the toxicity of ingredients, what we know about them is constantly changing. And we do acknowledge that the messaging can be very confusing. And at goPure, as we've said, we are committed to making the cleanest, most effective skincare products that are responsibly priced, so you can feel confident in your skin all of the time. So Amy, can you shed any light on how the FDA works to keep the cosmetics industry safe from those harmful ingredients or products? Anything you can share about our manufacturer, our facility, and any products that we have maybe utilized that fall under that regulation?
So the FDA does not regulate cosmetics unless they're considered an OTC, so an over-the-counter product. So like a sunscreen, or something that has a high medicinal content like a salicylic acid over a certain percentage. Those are OTC products, and those require FDA intervention, so to say. For an SPF, the FDA requires like a minimum of a 9-month testing process to make sure that the SPF levels are met and that it's going to do what you're saying that it's going to do. That's why on an SPF, you see a drug fact box on the back of the packaging, because it is considered a drug, an over-the-counter medication. So basically, it's kind of like the FDA runs on an honor system. So companies and individuals who manufacture skincare have a legal responsibility to ensure the safety of their products. The law or the FDA does not require specific testing. They don't require that you share information with them about non-OTC products. But it's really up to the company, according to the FDA, it's really up to the company to do what is right and what they know is right. Not doing anything dangerous or harmful to the people that are buying the products, because it will harm the people that are buying them. We take every step and precaution to make sure that our products are, like I said, thoroughly tested, safe. We regularly visit our manufacturers to ensure the facilities meet our standards. We use FDA approved facilities and good manufacturing practice facilities to manufacture our products. We just, we're really in tune with the manufacturing process. And this really helps us have that peace of mind that our products are being made to our high standards. I mean, we have very high standards, so we want to make sure that everything is made to those standards. We keep a single lot of, so basically every time a formula is run, we keep 3 pieces of each lot of that product. We keep it for years and years just to make sure that if there's ever an issue, if ever anything comes about, we can look at the lot number and we can go find the product from when that lot was created and make sure that there really is nothing wrong, or have it tested. If somebody says, that they see some black stuff in their cream or whatever it could be, we'll go look at our samples of the same lot, and we'll make sure that, everything looks good. We'll have it tested to make sure that everything is safe. And basically, so like I've mentioned so many times today, our customer safety is our #1 priority. So we will always go the extra step. We will always perform the extra tests, put in the extra effort, do the extra work to make sure that our products are safe and that everybody that's using them continues to be safe while using them.
That's amazing. And are all skincare facilities like an FDA type facility?
No, definitely not. Not all of them.
That's really cool. I did see a comment that said from one of our amazing customers, that's why the SPF is taking so long. So is there anything you want to share about, it's interesting. I just know, like you said, it's a 9-month process, but does that process have to be done multiple times? Maybe, like, is there, anything that we can?
9 months is only the FDA portion. So it's a very, very long process. All I'm going to say is stay tuned. Hang in there. I don't want to get in trouble. Just stay tuned.
Oh, I don't know what I can say about it. What can we say? I mean, I know it comes up a lot and it is something that's very important. And from my perspective as a clinical esthetician, we know that SPF is like the number one thing that is like, if anything is an anti-aging product, it is sunscreen, because that is what is going to prevent that damage. 90% of the damage that we see in our skin, those visible signs of aging, come from UV exposure. And that's just a fact. And it is important for a company like us that creates amazing skincare and effective skincare to have a product like that. But it is a very, very long process, because when you think about the FDA portion, taking that and any changes or anything, you have to go through all of these things again. And we don't compromise on our standards, how a product feels. I mean, Amy and I care so much about your experience with these products. I just hope you all know how much Amy cares about your experience with these products. All of us do. That when any product is released at any time, it has been a very long process. This is something that has been in the works. So when you all make recommendations, what's a timeline? Because we see people asking for like body care and lip products and all these things, because we're always talking about stuff like, what can these timelines realistically be like when you don't have to even do the FDA portion?
I mean, they really vary. It just depends on what the product is, how many, changes we want to make to it, from point A, to point Z. I would say a good non-OTC timeline is 6 to 9 months is safe. 6 is where I would love it to be at.
Yeah. Okay, that's so cool. All right. Now, I see so many amazing questions. Let's do a final quick Q&A while our incredible customer service team chooses our final giveaway winner for the last PR box. So for those of you that have been a part of this conversation, been enjoying this incredible chat with Amy, stay tuned. And how about this? Because we want to make what you want. I want you all to blow up this chat with your dream product. What are some of your dream products? How would you feel about that, Amy?
I need a paper and pen.
We can save the chat, but the replay will be up wherever you're watching it from. But yeah, let us know what do you want to see next from us at goPure, and we can guarantee we have a lot of these on the list. And when they're on the list, please be patient. Be patient with Amy and all of us, because it is a long process, and we absolutely do not compromise with our standards of cleanliness, quality, experience, efficacy, and just making sure that there's the price point is where it needs to be as well. So while you all are blowing up the chat, Kaylee, do you have a question or anything you can put up on the screen for us to address while our incredible customer service team is choosing our final winner for this super cool PR box? I want you all to know that I just got this last night. I wasn't sure if it was going to be here in time to show you all. So I literally just got this, and I'm so excited about it. It's making me giddy, but I love that it talks about our standards and what our values are as a brand. And I think that's really cool. So Kaylee, do you have anything you can pop up on the screen for? Oh my gosh, this chat is blowing.
I know. I'm reading everything, and I'm like, the wheels are spinning, guys. The wheels.
There's so many good comments here. I did see a question on here about anything you can add about travel sizes, because I know that is something that has come up a lot. Is that something we've considered, like travel sizes and small sizes?
Yeah, it's definitely something we've talked a lot about. And I'm not going to say stay tuned yet, because it's not something we've started working on, but it's definitely something in our little book of tricks that we're definitely wanting to do.
Yeah. And this is just my question, because I'm very curious about this. Is there any consideration with like the cost and making sure it's affordable with like the packaging and the amount of product in there, does that ever come into play? Is that a thing? Because I know packaging really does lend to the pricing of products, and we work really hard on that side. We talked about the sustainability side, but also like the pricing side. Is that a part of it with travel size, or is that just like not even an issue?
I mean, it's always, it's always part of it. The packaging is always something that we consider when launching anything. It's, season, what season is best. Obviously, a travel season is ideal. But then if you have so many other products launching during that time, you maybe want to wait another year or whatnot. It's how many travel sizes, how many of our customers are truly going to buy these travel sizes and want these travel sizes. So there's a lot of factors to consider. How big should we make our travel sizes? How many times do people plan to use a travel size when they travel? So there's so many different factors and things that we have to really evaluate to make a good decision. So, but it's definitely something that we are eager to put into place.
That's really cool. And I love hearing your perspective on it, because that's so thoughtful. Like, that's such a thoughtful, intentional process you just described, even when it comes to travel sizes, not just like, oh, let's make smaller sizes of what we already have. Just even those things you listed, that's really like thoughtful and intentional, and really coming from like the customer experience and making sure we do it right, making sure that we're putting this effort into something that is like, that's very meaningful for each and every one of you all. So that's super cool. Kaylee, do we have one more question before we choose a grand prize winner? Anything else that we should address? I just see so many things on here for products for skin redness, lash and brow growth serum, and hair care. I saw makeup, body care. I even see bath crystals, hand cream, refills. And it's just like blowing up, hair mask. There's so many things on here. And I do love all the comments about the affordability of the products. Oh, this is a great one. Would goPure consider producing realistically a makeup line?
I mean, I'll tell you, Sandra, I would love to make a makeup line, because I love, playing in makeup. Again, it's something that we've talked about. It's something that, clean makeup is not super easy to find, just like clean beauty is not super easy to find. Our level of clean, that is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's definitely something that we've, kind of chatted about in passing, or when we're kind of meeting to discuss what we want to do in the future. Nothing in the works yet, but definitely something that we have discussed and would be super excited to start doing.
Yeah. And I know from my perspective of being a working makeup artist for 20 years, I love the idea of makeup, but just makeup is a whole other beast. And it's
so many
the
colors,
cleanliness, but the efficacy part of makeup is something that's really important too, and shade ranges and inclusivity. And that is a whole other arena as well, because if you all know, if I'm here and we're doing makeup, it's got to work too. It's got to do what it's meant to do, because putting color in something isn't always, gonna mean it's a great makeup product. But we see that a lot, and just know that like these are conversations that we do have. I'm always grateful when my opinion gets included. We ask people's opinions. We ask your opinions, the people here at goPure. Everyone has a different perspective and background, and it's really cool. And I just hope you all know how much work Amy puts into this, our co-founders put into this, and everyone here to just ensure that the products maintain these incredibly high standards of truly clean. And we're transparent on that. We're always getting better, but these products work and they're responsibly priced, and you all can get them, because if you don't feel like they're working and you can't afford them, then you won't use them. And we want you to use them to feel super confident in your skin every single day. So hooray, hooray. Kaylee, let's blow this up and let's get our final winner here for this amazing PR box. How do we feel about that? And everyone say thank you to Amy for this incredible chat, for taking time to meet with all of us. Amy is on Eastern time, so it's later there for her as well. But whenever Kaylee's ready to put it up on the screen, we are ready to announce a winner, and I see the happy confetti falling down. And so that means we have our final winner, Barbara Schreiber. You are our final winner for the grand prize of this amazing PR box.
Congratulations, Barbara.
Congratulations, and thank you for participating in the conversation, and thank you each and every one of you for being here, for spending time with us, for sharing your perspective with us and with one another. It's always so amazing to be on and to chat with you all. And a special thank you to Amy, because this is Amy's first time doing this. And I do this all the time, and I still get so nervous every single time. And I get those butterflies and whatnot. And so this is a big thing that Amy did. So I want to give extra congratulations and thank you to Amy for sharing that perspective. This was a really cool chat. Thank you for sharing all of those amazing tidbits. I hope you'll come back and join me and join all of these lovelies here at goPure for continued chats, because this was fun. I had fun. Amy, did you have fun?
I had so much fun. I'm totally good to come anytime you want.
I had so much fun. I did. And we just appreciate you so much. And stay tuned, because if you follow us on social media, Amy actually did a really cool video that is up on TikTok, and we have it up on our YouTube channel. Please follow us on social, especially our YouTube channel. She actually did a video on that RIPT testing. I have other projects for her and other videos we're going to be working on to share this information with you all, because that transparency is really, really important to us. And for all of you that wanted to win that PR box, double stay tuned, because I have grand plans to throw that beauty over there and that PR box around a little bit more. And so we have some fun things coming up. So stay tuned. Make sure you're in our goPure VIP community. If you are not, that is an incredible community where all of these wonderful suggestions that you shared with Amy and myself, and Amy's in there too. Aaron, our co-founder, is in there. We have so many people at goPure in that chat. We see and we know what's going on. So throw those suggestions in there. It's an amazing community. And follow us on our social channels, because we do lots of fun giveaways all of the time. And yes, I have grand plans for that gorgeous PR box. So make sure you're following us in all of the places. And finally, if you enjoyed this chat, check out our blog on our website. We actually do have this blog on the website, 7 myths, those 7 clean beauty myths that goes through this. And we also have a really awesome Q&A that I did with Amy last year, and Alex, who is our other co-founder, on a lot of these topics as well, with their perspective. So check out our blog, because we have lots of goodies up there too. So thank you all for joining us, and I hope you have a lovely evening, and we will see you soon.
Thank you, guys.
Bye. Thank you, Amy.